Hey guys, today is Saturday, or August or September 18th, something like that. And I am 2.5 weeks post-op glandplasty and 5.5 weeks post-op phalloplasty. And I just want to update you guys on something that happened. It's not serious, but I think I mentioned about having a little opening at the end of the vaginectomy incision that's right next, in between the end of that incision and the anus. There's a little opening that closed up, and I wasn't leaking or anything, and I started standing and peeing. Was doing okay, had to go to the doctor, got in my truck, came back, bright red blood. And this happened before. This is the third time. The first time it happened is when they told me to pee 3 days before my third post-op. And I peed just fine all day Saturday. Woke up Sunday morning to bright blood just dripping in the toilet. So I took it I had a little hard time having a bowel movement. And maybe I was straining too much. So Dr. Crane said, don't worry about it. It's okay. It'll heal on its own. Worst case scenario, if it doesn't heal, they'll repair it when they do the implants. So that was okay. So the next time it happened is when I was in and out of my truck to the doctor's office. And it started bleeding again. And I tried to put some Meta honey there, but that area is so moist, and you can't cover it up to keep it in there. So I just do my best to pack it with Meta honey. Then it cleared up again, and then 2 days ago I had to go to another doctor's appointment. And I think what's happening is getting in and out of my truck, because that skin is so sensitive and so thin. I think when I go to get in my truck and spread my legs, it's ripping it or reopening it. And I've laid low for 2 days now. I still have not bright blood anymore, but I still have some moisture there with a little bit hint of blood. So I packed it with Meta honey the best I could again. But other than that, everything is going good. I did acquire a staph infection. Now, I've been told we have staph all over our body, but sometimes we just come down with it. My theory is that when I got home from up north, I'm in a triple-digit desert area, and I do nothing but sweat. So I think the moisture and all that stuff contributed to having this staph infection. And it's a AUREAU sensitivity. So I'm on Bactrim for that, and he said I'm on the right meds. Other than that, the glands are healing really good. All the other incisions are healing good. The glandplasty skin incision was right where the underwear, in the groin area, right where the leg of the underwear stays. And so I immediately, my body reacted with inflammation, red, burning, etc. My primary doctor says there's staph infection in that. I'm leaning more towards my body is rejecting the sutures because of how they feel. You can touch any little part other than the knot they have above the skin, and I don't have any pain. You hit one of those knots and it burns, goes right through me. So it's closing up. It'll take another probably week or so, and those knots should come loose from underneath the sutures. Those should be dissolving. Once I get those off of that skin, I think that the pain and the burning will go away. Other than that, I have been very blessed with this surgery. Once again, I'm going to iterate that mind, body, and soul, you have to be in line with one from another. Because if you're not, your mind's going to drive you crazy when you're laying in that bed for 4 days. Your mind's going to drive you crazy when you wake up to all these wires and all these things that got hooked to you, catheters, drains. It's just something you really have to grab a hold of and not allow it to dictate your recovery. If you're sensitive to medication, if you know that ahead of time, be prepared for that. And if you do get nauseated, if you do get sick, accept it for what it is. And I know it's harder said than done, but guys, I went into my surgery with this attitude. I just can't explain enough how I felt about just being calm about it. I knew the complication rate. I knew that I could die on the table. I went in knowing everything, and I went in feeling very at peace with everything. I had an opportunity to align my body with my mind and soul. And so the mind and soul has to play their part in this healing process. When you start feeling depressed about something, if you're having complications, as hard as it is not to react and get depressed about it, just say, you know what, if you have that much faith in Dr. Crane or whoever your physician is, let it be that. Let it speak for itself. Wait it out, deal with the issues, and let the body take care of itself. The body is our own miracle healer. The body has the equipment to heal us. So it's just our mind and our soul, or actually not our soul, but our mind. It starts playing games with us, especially if you're not a positive thinker. You're a pessimist, or you feel everything happens to you, and or you go into this surgery really anxious and nervous. One, maybe because you've never experienced surgery before, but two, maybe because that's how you deal with stuff. Excuse me. What I'm asking you to do is change that way of thinking before you go into surgery. Do some meditation, do some visualization, read inspirational books, memorize spiritual quotes that help you deal with day in and day out situations, because how you deal with life right now is probably how you're going to deal with your surgery. And if there's a complication, it could be, you can make it worse than what it is. That hole, I'm having to deal with wearing pads, things I did not like in my prior body. But I know it's temporarily. I know I'm not a female, and I know I'm not, when I sit and pee, it's not like the old time where I felt, oh God, this contradicts what I feel. I don't feel that at all now. So it's all about the mind getting aligned. And if you're not a spiritual person, dig deep, because I'm sorry, it's part of you. So that's my take on 2.5 weeks post-op with glandplasty and 5.5 weeks post-op with phalloplasty. And I'll insert some pictures on this to let you guys see some of the healing process. All right. Take it one day at a time, and always make your journey as simple as possible. Talk to you later.